Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. China bans Bitcoin, shooting the price down extremely low, and this could be good news for precious metals stackers. Now, before we start, I want to make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's get these videos spread across the platform of YouTube. I appreciate the support so much. So let's jump into this story. China has banned Bitcoin 2 different times, and now it has happened again. It seems like it's a pattern every couple of years, and the price of Bitcoin is down to the 6,800 range when it was at a high of $20,000 a couple of years ago. Now, Bitcoin volatility isn't as high as it once was upon a time. Nowadays, it's definitely a bear market with no type of rallying. It's basically dead to some extent. I do think that cryptocurrency has a lot of benefits and there's a lot of opportunity there on some occasions, but nowadays it's more of a marginal trading thing and it's extremely risky. Its all-time risks are with Bitcoin right now, cryptocurrency. I do think cryptocurrency has the right idea with it being a decentralized asset that's traded globally. It's like everyone speaking the same language in a monetary form, just like gold and silver are. But the thing with gold and silver is there's intrinsic value there. With Bitcoin, there's so many altcoins, it's so confusing, it's just a mess. And it's a rough draft type of currency if we were going to turn to a digital type of monetary system to some extent in some day and age. But I definitely don't think Bitcoin is the answer. It had potential back in the day. I took advantage of it. Many of you guys have as well. But right now, it's just in a terrible spot. Now, this being said, this could really be good for precious metals. Because look what happens every time stock markets set record highs. Or stock markets are more volatile. It affects the price of precious metals. Now, cryptocurrency being the underdog in a slightly different type of market, I still think prices are going to be affected. I mean, there's Bitcoin has been, I guess, intertwining with banks, with fiat currency, and precious metals more than we've seen. APMEX, JM Bullion, Provident Metals, they all accept Bitcoin now. There's actually Bitcoin, there's gold-backed Bitcoin, there's Bitcoin-backed gold. I mean, you can literally buy Bitcoin that's backed by physical precious metals. And it's pretty interesting. And now you can buy your gold and silver with Bitcoin. So it goes both ways. And I think that, coins that are intertwining with fiat currency, the banks, it's like Ripple is going to be a little bit confusing in the future. But right now, for the sake of this video, I want to focus more on precious metals and what this means for precious metals. Now, the whole point of this video is because I want to ask you guys a question. I'm curious. To what extent do you think that these other markets, these other investments, affect and influence the price of precious metals? Do you think that stock markets have a strong pull on silver prices, or do you think that it's more speculative and it's something that people just, almost because they assume that it's going to, they change their investing strategies? For instance, like stock markets set record highs. Did most people pull out of precious metals and go into stocks because they thought the prices were going to be lower, or did that actually affect the prices? Like speculation versus real statistics on the markets affecting each other to some extent, if that makes sense. For another example, let's talk about the dollar index. Every time the dollar index goes down, gold and silver go up. Every time gold and silver goes up, the dollar index goes down. Do you think that this has a direct correlation? Because a couple months ago, they actually started going up together. And this was when gold and silver was having a lot of stuff with U.S.-China trade negotiations, Saudi Arabian oil fields, the Iran tensions. A lot of stuff was going on during that time. But I think it's becoming more speculative. And I'm using this word speculation a lot because gold and silver are falling into that category more than ever. I don't think they used to be as speculative as now. They used to have some foundation. They used to have some stability behind it, where regardless of what stock markets were doing, regardless of the U.S.-China trade wars, regardless of these things, it still would hold its value. And that's going to be something you have to incorporate and really apply to your stacking strategy in the future moving forwards, because with a single tweet that can send prices of gold and silver down or higher, that's a scary thought. I mean, it could be good, but for the long term, I don't think it's going to be too good. For prices, yes, we silver stackers can definitely make a pretty penny off of this because things in the economy are not getting any better anytime soon. But this also means that precious metals are becoming more speculative, and I don't like that. That's a very risky thing. Bitcoin was literally, its price was based off of speculation. The dollar's based off of speculation. Gold and silver are now kind of falling into the same category. The dollar literally goes off speculation. The dollar's value is how much people believe in it. Back in the day when we had the gold and silver standard, our dollar had real value, with the silver and the metal content inside of it. But nowadays, since our money isn't backed by gold and silver, it's how much people believe in it, which is speculation. They're speculating. It's a speculative. It's literally the only thing is faith and hope and what they view it as. And if gold and silver gets to that point, it could be extremely dangerous. Now, obviously, the good thing about gold and silver is that it has intrinsic value. This word intrinsic value, it means everything for gold and silver because that's the value within itself. 50 cent walking liberty, it's not the face value that's the value of that coin anymore. It's the metal content inside of it. Your American Eagle, there's 1 ounce of silver in it. The spot price, how much that American Eagle is going for, is irrelevant. It's the 1 ounce of silver that's inside of that American Eagle. That's the value. That's what's going to be traded as a need and a valuable asset. And I say asset because I see silver as an asset, not a commodity. I don't see silver as just something for jewelry and necklaces. No, I see silver as something that's used highly in technology and is growing in demand every single year. And now we see industries paying premiums, which we've never seen before. So I think that right there should be a clear point that they should hold some foundation, but the speculative point of view is definitely growing, and I hope that this is something that can be stopped, and I'm curious what will stop it. I think, actually, no, let me take that back. I know what could stop it, and that is the surplus, and that is the supply and demand, and definitely, more than ever, that's going to be what can build prices up regardless of what's happening in the economy, regardless of what Bitcoin's doing, regardless of what stock markets are doing, regardless of what President Trump tweets out. This is the supply and demand is the most important thing to talk about with precious metals because we see the supply diminishing and we see the demand blooming and blossoming, flourishing more than ever. I mean, especially once prices start rising as well, we see the investors that were in cryptocurrency could easily go into precious metals. 99% of people that invest into gold and silver invest into the ETF side of it, which is basically like stocks. So if they are from cryptocurrency and they go into stocks, but they want something that's decentralized, similar to cryptocurrency, they're going to choose gold and silver ETFs. It only makes sense. So that means that there could be a new money flow, a new demand into the world of precious metals. Yes, it'll be on the digital side, but essentially these markets are the same whether it's the physical bullion or it's the ETF side of it. So there's definitely some beneficial factors to there. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do want to ask this question though. What do you think affects the markets the most right now? What is the influential patterns that gold and silver have compared to these other assets, and really where does it come from? I mean, is it speculation or is there some actual evidence that these markets are affecting each other, or is it all speculation, or is every market a little bit different? I definitely think that every market is different, but to what extent? More specifically, we're talking about precious metals here. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make a different type of video today. Once I read that China banned Bitcoin, it got the ball rolling. It got me thinking about, precious metals and if this could affect the markets. And I thought this would be a creative, a unique, and also a very educational thing to talk about, because a lot of people kind of forgot about Bitcoin and don't focus on it. But this is stuff, this is important stuff to know and to talk about, because yes, all these markets are intertwined to some extent, like we just mentioned earlier in the video. They definitely are. You need to pay attention to stock markets. You need to pay attention to real estate. You need to pay attention to cryptocurrency. You need to pay attention to the dollar index, because one of these markets doing something could affect the other market extremely easy, and it could be very influential, which could affect the way you invest into your precious metals. So I definitely think there's some correlation there. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button. Please smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I do post daily videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. If you want to join my Patreon for exclusive giveaways, my newsletter, and also several different things, if you want to get investing tips, the link will be in the description. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.